Hey everyone, welcome to Wonderfix. Today we're going to be talking about some of the movies that we saw in 2025 and ranking them on a tier list. Here we have Lexi.
Hi, I'm Lexi. I'm Chad's wife, and I'm a costume designer.
Hey, just Nate again, just do graphic design and love movies.
And I'm Eric. Also love movies. Very excited to talk about this today.
One thing we really want to make sure is that this is, of course, opinion based. We love movies here. Me and my wife, Lexi, here see movies almost once a week, but it's obviously opinion based. And this can be very controversial. So we are open to discussion, we are open to comments, and we'd love to talk more. So if you have different opinions about us, please drop it in the comments. But no, we know that it is opinion based, and we might not always be right in our opinions, and that's okay.
Please tell us
I'm always
why we're wrong, but just be respectful.
And if you have any movie recommendations of stuff we haven't seen, please let us know.
Awesome. Let's jump right into it. Starting off first on the list. So 28 years later, who did see this one?
Lexi and I did. Did anybody else see that one?
No, I haven't seen any of the 28 movies.
neither.
I want to start watching them because I've heard they're good.
They're really good. I had never seen the first one, like the original Cillian Murphy ones.
Mhm.
So this was my first intro to it, and I loved them.
So I actually did see the original Cillian Murphy one, and I was a little bit underwhelmed by it. I saw it a while ago, but this one I absolutely loved. I really loved the way they handled the story and the characters, and it was really emotional. And the stuff they go through was like realistic and gritty. I would say it's probably A or B. What would you say, Lexi?
I would
probably
say
A.
I would say A because it was really focusing on like humanity and like even though it was apocalyptic and zombie, it just wrote really, really good characters in a really interesting way. That was really beautiful. Like I cried in a zombie movie. And so I would say A. I really liked that one. And I liked the new one too, but that's 2026.
Yeah, we did just see the new one, and it did increase the story. I actually talked about for that second 28 years later, the Bone Temple, and how I think it's a really good sequel. I think sequels are sometimes really hard to do, and I thought that one, the sequel, did well, but we're not getting into that one. So A for 28 years later.
Yeah, I think A.
In A tier. Amazing. Next one is Mickey 17. I believe the only one who has seen this one is Nate, right?
Am I the only one who's seen it?
Yeah,
I
wanted to.
Okay, Eric, you haven't seen it either?
I have not. I've been meaning to.
Okay. I love the sci-fi concepts it deals with and the characters and how they deal with the situations and the emotional development. And Mark Ruffalo makes a very funny villain during this. And I feel like I would give it A or B. I would probably give it an A here just for being a brand new IP and doing something very interesting with the story that I hadn't seen before.
And I don't think anyone can contest you on that here, so
no,
it's all in the comments.
I need you all to
Take your
watch
word
it
for
so
it.
you can see what you think, okay?
Moving on to the next one then, Mission Impossible: The Final Reckoning.
So
Okay,
Lexi and I
listen.
saw that one. Did anybody else see this?
I saw it too.
This one I had never seen any Mission Impossible before these final ones came out, and so we like binged all of them. Well, the important ones. We skipped a couple of them. And I got so obsessed with Tom Cruise and his ability to do stunts that I like didn't talk about anything else for like 48 hours. Like I cannot believe what this man can do. The Fall Guy movie that came out was one of my favorites.
Yeah.
I just really love stunts. So his ability to just like treat his team with respect, but then like be like, this is what I'm gonna do and we're gonna figure it out, and to just mind-boggling stunts. I thought it was really cool. I thought the script was cheesy, but it doesn't matter.
Yeah, I do feel like stunts carry the Mission Impossible franchise. I think early on they still had some good story. Like I remember Mission Impossible 3. I thought the story was really good and compelling. But this one, I didn't think the story was that good. But the biplane, the fact that he's like doing acrobatics and fighting on a biplane without a parachute and flying it with his feet was amazing.
Yeah.
And that, I think, for that alone, it has to be at least B tier just because of the stunts. But I just don't know if the story elevates it above that to me.
Yeah.
Well, if we're labeling B as glad I saw it, but not rewatch, I think B.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Put it in B. That sounds fair. From the Mission Impossible movies that I've seen, that's on par. It's a lot of, whoa, that was cool. Didn't make any sense, but it was cool.
Yeah.
Moving on to the next one. Got a lot to go through.
Wolfman.
Wolfman.
This movie, so it's been a while, but you know the funny part about this movie, Wolfman, is that I don't really remember it that well. Like I remember a lot of the scenes and I remember a lot of the stuff because it was so bad. I think Lexi and I walked out of that movie just being like, "What the hell was that?" Like but we talked about it for a while, which was good, but we did. I mean, right? Like, what do you think, Lex?
I also don't remember it because it was so bad it was just not memorable. But I remember with like the CGI was bad, the plot line made no sense. Like there were like things that were happening, and now I wish I could remember more because like he would leave the house and we were like, why? Right? Like there was something that was like truly like it was written just horribly. It was really not good. And then the wolf man himself looked like just a human guy with some hair. And so it was not an interesting monster to look at all. Did not live up to the par of Universal's, monster expertise.
I don't know if I've even heard of this one. Is it just the old, like a remake of the old Wolfman movie?
Yeah, but they tried to do some weird stuff. Like I don't know, I'm trying to remember it now. He tries to remember his wife and it's weird. I would probably say D. That might be our first D tier movie.
All right, not worth the watch.
Not worth the watch, yeah.
I'll be honest, I didn't even know that movie came out.
Me neither.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was not good.
But I have heard a lot about Weapons. My brother saw it and he loved it.
You haven't seen it?
I haven't seen it. I've been meaning to watch
Eric,
it.
Have you seen this one?
I haven't, but I believe Rye, my spouse, has. He has a lot of friends because he's in film school who they watched it together, and I've heard a lot of good things about it. I just haven't seen it.
Yeah,
So
my brother
and I might be a little controversial then because we did not like it. We were not big fans of it. We thought that a lot of stuff just kind of happened for no reasons. And then when we went to go like research and find out why, like there's an AK-40 or a machine gun, AR-15, I believe, sorry, in the sky in one of the dreams. And the director was like, I actually have no idea why that was there. I'm leaving that up to audience interpretation. And we were like, oh, okay. It was fine. It was fine. I liked the witchcraft used in it. I thought that was cool. I liked the mystery of it. But in the end, it was just there was more questions than answers about how it worked and how it was going to continue working for some of the characters. And I think that left me not feeling like I was happy with it.
I loved Barbarian, which was the same creators. It was one of my favorite horror movies of the last couple of years. Loved it so much. So I was really expecting like a really good twist and really good characters that like just like had me shocked in the theater. And instead it was more campy and a little funny, which is not what I really wanted. It was just like a little too campy and then had more questions than answers to the plot itself and didn't seem as thought out as I would have preferred.
I think this one will be controversial because I know a lot of people love this movie. So I would say C, but that could be dangerous to a lot of people's opinions.
I would say C, yeah.
Not even B? You think that there's too much?
I really like walked out of the theater thinking like, what the heck was that? Like that wasn't even close to what I expected it to be. Like it just didn't make any sense to me.
Wow. I would agree.
Could you argue that you went in with higher expectations because of Barbarian?
Yes.
And so down
100%.
because of it?
100%. If I had gone in knowing that it was a campy horror, I probably would have liked it more and might even like it more of a second time rewatch knowing that frame. But they sold it as the creators of Barbarian. And so I was expecting a much different type of horror, if that makes sense.
And that was a big part for me too. But not only that, the movie ends with them. I don't think the writers and directors fully understood how the magic and witchcraft worked because it ended with some of the characters being like, they were just like that for the rest of their lives. And I'm like, wait, that's not how that worked. We've shown that this curse can be broken. Anyways, that was like some of the gripes that I was like, some of the things felt like the writers and directors just did it for effect versus actual
vibes
making sense.
See, it is. Moving on to the next one, which is Snow White, the live action remake with
instant D tier.
Instant D tier.
Listen, as a costume designer, let me tell you, the costumes in this movie are some of the worst I've seen in a long time. Like the fabric is flat. The evil queen is just awful. Like too angular, and the gems. Snow White's white look at the end is the exact same look. It also fits her really poorly. Like she's a very slim figure and her corset makes her like really boxy. The colors are really bad. Her hair is really bad. It's just really unflattering, and it was distracting to me the whole time as somebody who specializes in that. Is that they maybe the script could have been better, maybe the songs could have been better, but they could have at least put some effort into making her look flattering as a princess, because it was so distracting having her just look like right out of Party City and had no fittings.
Oof.
Yeah, I was not a fan.
I just didn't see it because I don't ever go see live action remakes because I don't see the point.
I am of the same mind, Nate. I saw there's a live action remake. I saw that Gal Gadot was playing Evil Queen. Immediately lost interest.
No.
Exactly. So
Enough wine to fill denial.
Denial.
I want to deny I ever saw that film.
D tier. I think we're all in agreement, even those of us who didn't see it.
Yeah.
I think this one we're also going to be in agreement on. K-pop Demon Hunters.
Okay, I might. So you're probably going to say, you might say S tier. I was going to say top of A. Now, I think the music is fantastic. I think it's so good, and it is so easy to listen to over and over, but the story is missing beats for me. That I think barely keeps it out of S tier, but that's my opinion.
Which apparently it was supposed to be like a 3-hour long thing, and then it was going to be a TV show, so then they had to like majorly cut it down. So obviously there are like crazy plot points missing, but it's like obvious. The first time I watched it, I was like, oh, that doesn't make sense in the plot, but I love the music so much that I have rewatched it a couple of times.
I was going to say, you can tell that it is a movie intended for kids that they had to cut an hour out of. Mm-hmm. It's a great movie, just could be better. For me, it's like an 8 out of 10 or a 9 out of 10. It's
I would say top of A.
So I will say, Netflix had like some things where they made them cut the length of the movie down. They were going to do like at least 2 hours, but Netflix made them shorten it, so they had to cut out some important story beats. And I love the animation style. I thought it was just so fresh and vibrant, and I thought just the characters were compelling even with the missing story beats. I thought was really fun and exciting, which is why for me it's S tier, and also the music is amazing. And the story of the actual singers that were like didn't make it in the world of K-pop that then went on to write and sing songs that then beat out the top K-pop artists, I just think is another reason I find it very compelling. Why I'd put it in S tier for just being very like almost an underdog story that came true for them.
And in terms of like female characters in media recently, they were really great female characters. You know, there was never anything about like them being super sexy or anything like that. They were cute and they had fun outfits and they stuffed their faces full of food and they wore pajamas with no makeup, you know? So I think that in that realm of characters, I would put that in an S tier. Like being able to show real women to children is really spectacular.
Yes. The fact that they were just people who, like you said, ate real food and weren't hypersexualized. And then also, Nate, like you said, the animation was beautiful. I just had, I don't know, when I finished watching it with my spouse, I was like, oh, that was fun. I think I can do without rewatching that for a little bit. Like, I will rewatch it, but I think once is enough for now.
I mean, Michaela, my wife, quote the couch thing all the time. And I just got obsessed with there's this walk cycle in the final song when after they all hug and start walking together, that I don't know why, but just the dopamine and like serotonin in my brain just popped off with the way the music synced up with the walk cycle that I just really liked. So maybe I'm just biased. I don't know. I rewatched it like 3 times.
It's a great movie.
K-pop Demon Hunters, pretty top of A. Moving on to the next one, Hard Eyes. I really, really liked this one. I don't think it's quite S tier, but it did make me actually love horror. I'm not a big like slasher thriller fan, but me and my spouse saw this one in theaters, and I absolutely adored it.
Yeah,
I loved this one. Yes, and we love Josh Rubin because we love Dropout. So,
oh, I didn't realize that it was a Dropout production.
We actually, it's not. It's not.
Josh Rubin's one of the comedians on Dropout. He's on Make Some Noise all the time, but he was the director.
Yeah.
Oh, that's really cool. And we actually didn't know he was the director until the end. Like, we loved the movie, thought it was really fun and like so campy with the like rom-com like tied into it, was really, really fun. And then at the end, it was like directed by Josh Rubin, and we were like, oh, of course we liked it then. We love Josh Rubin.
My opinion, and we can obviously talk about this more. My opinion would be B. I'm glad I saw it, but I don't think I'd see it again. But I did like it a lot.
See, that's fair. Like it is one that I would definitely only rewatch around Valentine's Day.
Mm.
Like it's not one that I'm just gonna pop on in the middle of August or whatever. So I think B is fair. Like maybe top of B because it's
Top of B because it's a really great movie. Just just such a fun movie theater experience to watch it, but maybe not a rewatch. So yeah, pretty high.
Or at most like once a year.
Yeah.
Awesome. Next one, Until Dawn. I have not seen this one.
D.
Lexi and I have immediate. Probably yeah. D tier.
D. Okay, so I played this video game with Chad, and it's a great game. It's really fun. It's scary. I think I ended up killing everyone on accident. And it was like one of the first horror games I played, and I was so bad. And so I have a lot of fun memories with it. And then watching the movie, it's like they just took the title and were like, what if we just called it this for fun? And then had the most confusing plot you've ever seen that had literally nothing to do with the game, and not even that made no sense even as a standalone plot.
It was
there
really
a slasher or a
it was a slasher. There was a lot of gore. Yeah.
Everything. It was so random because all they took from the game was the idea that, doesn't make sense because in the video game, it's one of those games where if you die, your character stays dead. So they took this idea. They're like, we want it to be a video game where they die and they come back to life. And so the whole point of the game is they keep dying and respawning and they have to figure it out. Of the movie. They keep dying and have to figure it out. And the video game,
in the game, when you die, you're just dead.
You die, and so it makes absolutely no sense. They obviously didn't play,
and it's different monsters. Like the video game is like just Wendigos.
Isn't it like there's a dude who is a slasher, and then there's also Wendigos, and that's it?
Yeah,
there's no slasher. Spoiler: it is just Wendigos.
Yeah, it's just Wendigos. And in the movie, it was like hags and slasher following you and this like weird doctor guy that was like doing experiments on people. And that I hate time travel. I hate anything with time travel. I hate it. It makes no sense. And so the fact it was like this weird ass premise about time travel in this like weird town they were in, it was terrible. Regret watching that.
Well,
okay. Well, D tier it is there. No, it sounds like they strayed a little too far from the source material and weren't able to justify it by adding anything new or original.
Yep, so, exactly.
Yeah. Also, the next one, Good Boy. I haven't seen. I couldn't bring myself to watch a movie with a dog as
Lexi and I saw this plot. We were so it's an indie film. So that was one of the things that as we walked out, Lexi and I had to keep reminding ourselves this is an indie film. And so what they could pull off and what they could do was limited. Saying that, as an indie film, I think even just the story could have been better. I would rank this probably as about C tier.
I think I would do C tier. Yeah, I had to look up beforehand that the dog did not get hurt because that was the only way I was going to see the show. It looks a lot like our dog, CG, so I couldn't have handled it otherwise. But the dog actor was impressive. The way they were able to get him to do things and react to things was really impressive, like production-wise. But the story didn't hit, especially at the end. Like emotionally, it didn't connect the whole story together. And so I think that could have been a little better. But the production element of using the dog was really clever.
I agree entirely. I think it's a very well made film. I don't think the story's very good. Me and my spouse Rye were talking about how we feel like they could have shaved off 30 minutes in the beginning and put that at the end and like had it close out a little better, and it would have been way better. But I think C tier is a good spot for it. Moving on to a Minecraft movie.
A tier, baby.
D tier.
Are you serious? You actually?
Why?
Yeah.
It was great.
Movie set out to.
I didn't laugh once in the entire movie. It never made me laugh.
You have no whimsy. You have no joy. The Minecraft.
Lock into your inner child.
It set out and it did everything that a Minecraft movie needed to do. It was absolutely silly. It was absolutely joyful. Was it a good movie?
Granted, we did see it with little kids. That makes it more fun.
We saw it with my nieces and nephews, and they loved it, and I loved it, and it was just a blast. And I mean, it was fun, and it's what Minecraft is.
I watched it at home after it went to streaming. So I was trying to understand all the memes and like the chicken jockey thing and stuff. And I just walked and I finished it. And I was like, okay, I'm probably gonna forget this in like 2 days. Like I just didn't find it to be a memorable movie. None of the jokes really landed.
So, sounds like we're on two polar opposites. How are we going to come to an agreement here?
Well,
Did
I
you
haven't
see
seen
this?
it, so it sounds like it's 2 versus 1, A tier versus D tier.
I wouldn't say A. I would not say
I'd be
A.
fine with B.
Like
I would say B, like low B, because
Low
it was
B?
really fun, but it's not like an exceptional plot. It's not an incredible script, but it made me laugh and it was fun to sit through. But I don't think I would ever watch it again unless I was with kids.
It's one that everyone should watch, but you don't need to like rewatch it every year.
Yeah.
My thought is like I've seen like the Mario movie like a little bit before that. I just felt afterwards like Minecraft they should just animated the whole thing. I just didn't feel the need for there to be like real people interacting with this digital world, and it just to me I just didn't find that very compelling. And yeah, also some of the plot lines and the characters found us to be a little too goofy almost in a way. Like I used to be really good at whatever the Pac-Man game is.
Hey, a really quick reminder, as you're saying some of the plot lines for the characters might be too goofy. The director was the director of Napoleon Dynamite and Gentleman's Bronco, who I think you would not like either one of those movies, right?
Well, I watched Napoleon Dynamite. Everyone when I was like, "Oh, this is the greatest, it's so funny," and I watched it. I was like, this didn't make me laugh very much. Like that was okay at best.
Well, then that makes like the same humor.
Yeah, same type. It's just that type of humor, I guess, just doesn't land with me.
Yeah, makes sense. So maybe ski is a compromise.
Just keep.
I'll accept the bottom of B.
Bottom of B.
I was like B because I'm really glad I saw it.
Great.
I think it was. I set out. It set out what it wanted to do. You know.
All right. Moving on to Drop then. I believe the only ones who have seen this one are Chad and Lexi, right?
Correct. What do you think, Lexi? I say high B.
Yeah, I say high B. The plot was great. There was nothing that I really would have changed. It was a little bit of a slow burn, but it was a really fun horror movie that kept me on my toes the whole time and then had a satisfying little revenge love story ending kind of thing, and I love that.
Yeah. Okay. I think it was a sleeper hit for me because we went in not really knowing anything. Nobody had talked about it. And it was intense, dude. It was good. I was really on the edge of my seat the entire time trying to figure it out. I liked it. It was good.
Yeah, really good.
That's the one where they're like in the skyscraper and someone's gonna fall off the building or something, right? I don't know anything about it.
She gets an airdrop from a guy in the restaurant, somebody in the restaurant that's like sending her security camera of her little boy at home who's with a babysitter, and he's like, if you don't do these things, I'm gonna kill him, you know.
And so she has to keep going on this date with this guy, this first date, and pretending like it's normal while she's getting these airdrops that and she has to kill the guy that she's on a date with. That's
kill the date. But she's really vibing with the date. She really likes him. And she's not a killer. That's an obvious point too. But so it's like her trying to figure out what to do to save her son and find this guy in the restaurant, but also not tell the guy so that he doesn't kill
because in
son.
The airdrop,
so it's pretty intense.
In order to airdrop, you have to be within like 25 meters of someone. And so he's the guy who's airdropping these things and has all the footage is in the restaurant with them. And so it's this intense thing where she's trying to play off this date because she can't let him know, otherwise the date know, otherwise she'll kill her son. It's good. I really liked it. It was intense.
It's a great female revenge story, which is one of Chad and I's favorite genres. So
yeah,
that does sound like it would be a pretty fun movie. The trailer did not make it seem that way, or at least the trailer.
Yeah, the marketing was not as good. Yeah, the marketing was not as good as the movie.
Okay. Top of B tier. Moving on to Zootopia 2. Again, I think the only ones who have seen this are Chad and Lexi.
We see a lot of movies.
Yeah, which is why you're here.
Lexi, this is going to be a hard one. For me, it's between S and A, but I know that's...
I would say A. I really, really loved it. Chad liked this one more than the first one. I did not like it as much as the first one. I loved the first one. And I thought this one was a really great sequel, but was not as good as the first one. Still really funny, made me laugh, made me cry. So I loved it, but I would say A.
I'm very happy with A. I only think S because I really loved the way it handled like trauma and the killing and murder and stuff, but like for children, like they didn't shy away from it, but they also were like handling it really well, in a way that I was like, this is really good for a kid to see and know, like, oh, some people go through trauma and they can recover, and sometimes it affects them for a long time. I don't know. I really liked it. I thought that was a good way of handling it.
It's been a while since Disney like actually talked about the hard things, so it was nice to see that in this one.
Nice. Maybe upper A then.
Yeah.
Like just behind K-pop Demon Hunters.
Great. Yeah, put all the animated ones at top.
Another one that I think only Chad and Lexi have seen, Bugonia.
Bugonia.
Or Bugonia.
We just saw this one too.
So this will also be controversial. I know a lot of people. I liked it. It's B or C though, but I liked it.
Really?
I would say B. I liked that they wrapped things up really smooth. I feel like a lot of these films that have been being made recently, where they're like a little campy, a little avant-garde, they often leave a hanger like, oh, we don't know exactly how it'll end. It's vague. It's did she get to the country? Whatever. And this one totally completely wrapped up the plot. So for me, I was satisfied with the plot, even if it was weird. It left no hanging threads or anything, which I appreciated.
I fully agree. That was one of my biggest things too. That I love when a movie, I know it's kind of childish, but I like when a movie just wraps up the plot. There's been so many movies lately that end with just like a, will they, won't they, did they, don't they?
Mm-hmm.
And I kind of like that it was like a, no, this is how it ends. And this is
and
the full story.
Really great performance from Jesse Plemons.
Killer performance, yeah.
Killer performance. We love it.
Okay, next movie when we're ready.
Jurassic World Rebirth. I've seen this one. Has anyone else seen it?
No.
Mm-mm.
I stopped with the Jurassic World franchise after a little bit.
With Black Widow? I can't remember her name right now.
With Scarlett Johansson. As well as I'm blanking on his name now. Bailey is his last name.
Jonathan Bailey.
Thank you.
Is Chris, the guy who plays Star-Lord, is he not in them anymore?
No. This is like completely separate from those ones, and that's why I actually really like it. I don't think it's a good movie. I had a lot of fun watching it though. Mostly because of Jonathan Bailey. He's sexy man. I would put this one like probably low B tier. There's a lot of stuff that doesn't make sense with it. The first 5 minutes is like an ad as to why you shouldn't eat Snickers. I'm not even kidding. A dinosaur breaks out because someone drops a Snickers wrapper. So doesn't make a lot of sense. But
you
it's a
think
really
Snickers
fun movie.
Paid to be the bad guy? Because it's like Apple, where you're not allowed to use Apple to be the bad guy. So do you think Snickers? They pay Snickers, or did Snickers pay to be the bad guy?
It's very blatant product placement because you can clearly see like the Snickers logo, and like I want to say a character even like talks about how like nothing like a Snickers, and then they drop the wrapper and it gets like sucked up into the vents and then it causes the whole system to shut down. And it's like the entire movie could have been avoided if this one guy didn't have a Snickers. It's just...
yourself when you're hungry.
Well,
poor guy.
Yeah. And I guess the security system wasn't itself because it was hungry.
Yeah, there you go. So I think low B tier is a good spot for that one, and none of you guys can fight me on that. Moving on to one that I think is going to be slightly controversial, not for us, but for the people watching, is Wicked for Good. I know that me, Rye, Chad, and Lexi saw this one together. Nate, have you seen this one?
I went and saw it with my mom since Wicked is her favorite musical.
So we've all seen it.
I give it low A or high B.
I would have give it C.
I'm thinking mid B range for me.
I would also say B. Lexi, please explain why. What's some of your thoughts?
Okay, so coming from a theatrical point of view, I work in theater. Wicked is a weaker second act. Everyone knows this about Wicked. It makes more sense as a whole. So it would have made more sense for the movie to be together in one, because then it impacts the whole emotional arc. Splitting them made it pretty obvious that the plot of the second act is a little weaker. It doesn't necessarily mean that that's like was the wrong thing to do. It just like separated it in a bad way. I thought that the added songs took me out of the pacing a lot, and the costuming was really disappointing to me. The first Wicked like blew my mind. The costuming was insane. It was a huge production and the costuming was crazy. Glinda changed every 5 seconds. Like, it was stunning. And in the second one, Glinda is in the same blue and pink dress for 2.5 hours, and it's also really highlighted her bones. Can I say that?
Okay. Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
some people joke about it being
anorexia of it.
Yeah, and so it was really
thing.
yes, it was really distracting watching her be very look not eating what am I trying to say here?
Not
For
looking
her
up.
looking unhealthy. Thank you. It was distracting to see her looking unhealthy, and her costuming never changed. And so even though it was supposed to be like Glinda has changed and so now she doesn't care about her looks as much, it was just a little bit of a letdown for me there.
So I will counter. I heard your critiques on that before I went and saw the film, and so I was counting the amount of costume changes she did while watching it.
Yeah.
I think she changed costumes about 4 times, and the reason she stayed in the one dress is because I think inside the scope of the movie, like about half the movie takes place during one day, whereas in the first movie they were going through like an entire semester of college or whatever.
Not one day.
That is true. That is true. It is. It's not one day, but it is like theoretically less time. It's faster. Yeah.
Yeah. I also,
but still, she goes out of that dress and then she changes back into it for a different event. Why would she do that? Why would she wear the same dress to 2 different events? It's crazy.
I will also say I think the music was weaker in Wicked for Good than the first movie. I think the first movie had a lot better music.
Except for No Good Deed. No Good Deed was so good.
Yeah. Like, there was still good songs. The added songs I don't think added much to the movie at all. Maybe detracted a little bit. But it did have a couple of my favorite shots in recent memory from films, which is when they are when the Tin Man is singing before he goes off to murder the Wicked Witch, and he looks up at Glinda and you see the torchlight bouncing off of his metal body. I thought that was like just a really good shot.
Unfortunately,
those costumes
did a wonderful job. I'm not an Ethan Slater fan. He did amazing.
Yeah. And the shot before Fiyero gets turned into the Scarecrow, where like they're having like the visions and freaking out about it, and you see him almost like crucified in a cornfield in the background. It's like silhouetted with like this harsh red light. I just thought it was really cool looking. And I like the way it integrated things into the Wizard of Oz plot, but I do agree it was weaker than the first film. I just still thought it was good, to the point where I almost like it more because of just some of the shots and the way the plot intertwined with Wizard of Oz.
So actually, some of the reasons that you said that are reasons that I didn't like it. And this is obviously just a personal thing, but I just kept being like, okay, well, how are they going to do the Scarecrow? Okay, well, how are they going to do Tin Man? Because it had to be so intertwined, it for some reason kind of took me out of it a lot of it. The time, okay, whereas the first one was it's totally its own story, and I was just so into it. And the characters were better. I also don't feel like any of them had really strong character development. I feel like Galinda the entire time is a little bit the same. You know, she acts outwardly nice, but she never really has an internal change. You know, immediately as she will turn it back, she feels like she forgets everything that she goes through. She never fully has a moment. And so the final goodbye between them, to me, felt like Galinda was even putting up a facade, even in that moment. You know, she just never really felt real or had this big character shift for me.
Well,
but I know that's personal.
But I also did find it weird that she did this hostile takeover of Oz at the end, and it's like, why didn't you do this at any point beforehand? Like, you could have done a hostile takeover at any time. It felt like.
Well, she didn't have the blackmail. She didn't find the bottle that proves that the wizard was Elphaba's dad. She didn't have that. But no, you guys are absolutely right. I think, like you were saying, Chad and Lexi, a lot of the issues that I have with it just stem back from the original source material, and the fact that
I think the production was good. The filming was beautiful. Their voices were incredible. I think it stems back from the plot itself being a little weaker in that second act.
Maybe we put it in like mid B tier then. It sounds kind of like the middle of whatever.
Okay. Yeah, I'm fine with mid B tier or even low B tier. I think it is a B tier film.
I think we're moving on to the first one that's in S tier for me is Thunderbolts.
S tier.
S tier. Do we all agree?
I would say A or S tier. I did love the characters and a lot of the plot. It's just more the interconnectedness of Marvel and how they didn't
We're not
capitalize on that was a problem.
worrying about the grand scope of the MCU right now. We're talking specifically about Thunderbolts.
I liked that it wasn't connected because I think the MCU is a mess. So I appreciated that it was a story that they were able to give the characters their own breathing room and emotional depth, and the soundtrack was amazing. So I feel like as a standalone, it really shone.
It was a very.
I would be
separating it
on this one.
Yeah, separating it from the rest of the MCU. Yeah, I am okay with putting it in S tier.
Here's one of the reasons why I think Thunderbolts might be S tier, though, is because I would rewatch it, but also I didn't care about these characters before I saw this movie. Even Bucky,
Yeah.
I didn't really care about Bucky. I didn't really care. I liked Black Widow, actually. I'm in one of the minority that liked the movie Black Widow. But I didn't really even then care about Yelena. But this made me care about them. The writing was good. I came out of it being like, okay, these are our Avengers. I'll take it. I like it. So
I was on 2012 Tumblr, so of course I cared about Bucky.
Yeah. I will say, watching like a Captain America TV show, like Falcon the Winter Soldier show, I really didn't like John Walker that much. Like, I thought he was a fine character, and I feel like they did a lot in repairing his reputation and making him more of this tragic figure in Thunderbolts that made him more likable. And I was concerned with how they were going to depict Sentry in the movie, and I thought they nailed it. I thought they did a fantastic job. They changed his powers up a little bit between Sentry and Void, but I think the changes they made to Void were really amazing and impactful and helped differentiate them in a way that the comics hasn't.
I also think it was a nice breath of fresh air that the threat felt so real. Because like in the Marvel movies leading up to that, it felt like a lot of the threats were like these big multiversal cosmic things coming to destroy the world. In this movie, it was literally just a guy who was depressed and happened to get superpowers, which if people in real life got superpowers, that's exactly what would happen, is someone with a bipolar disorder or depression or something would get powers and it would not end well. So it was really nice to just see these characters that felt like real people, even though it's supposed to be like a comic book movie, even though it's supposed to be fictional, just these characters that acted like real people would.
Yeah, for sure.
Now moving on to one that I think is totally opposite. The live action How to Train Your Dragon remake.
So let me say my thoughts. How to Train Your Dragon, the cartoon, is one of my favorites cartoon movies of all time. It's probably S tier for me. Now, saying that, this one is also S tier, but it's only because it is shot for shot the cartoon. It's the exact same story. I mean, shot for shot, line for line, it's the exact same. So I don't think it's S tier. But what I'm saying is, I know a lot of people that were like, I think it was better than the original. And I'm like, no, it wasn't. You just forgot how good the original cartoon was. So for me, it's probably like a B tier.
B tier.
But I'm obviously very biased because I love the cartoon.
Lexi, you saw it, right?
I would agree B tier because I also love the cartoon, but it was exactly the same. It wasn't something new.
Maybe mid B tier then.
Yeah, works for me.
Because I haven't seen it. Because I saw it was a live action remake, and like we said earlier, I'm not interested in those. But maybe I'll have to rewatch it then if it's as good as the original, though just a shot for shot remake.
It's literally like a shot for shot remake, like line for line, shot for shot. Maybe a couple things here. I actually think Astrid was a little bit more. She obviously still has that like gruff start, but then she does come around and is a little bit more sweet. And I think they actually did that a little bit better in this one, but I still like both.
Okay.
All right. One that I've been meaning to see for a while, The Long Walk. Who has seen this one?
It's an S tier for me.
Okay.
So I think it's A, and I'm only gonna say that because when I texted Nate after I saw this movie, and I was like, dude, you got to see this movie. It's absolutely beautiful. And that's the word I used for it, beautiful. I just loved the way they handled the characters. I loved the way that they interacted. The writing between the characters was so good. But I don't think I can watch it again. But I don't know if that is a fair enough.
So I went and saw this. Chad texted me and he said it was beautiful, and I agreed. I got out of the movie and was like, dude, you were right. This is a beautiful film. The premise is like not like the craziest thing. It's like a little goofy, but the way they wrote the characters and just the encapsulation of like a human experience of just like friendship, tragedy, like life, just encapsulating like this 2 hours of people just walking and talking was something I didn't expect, and it moved me to a point where I'm like, I can't put it any lower than A, but I do think it's S tier. I would rewatch it. I would, because I'd want to show
Lexi,
it.
what are your
to people,
thoughts?
'cause
You saw this. Do you think S or A?
I would say A. I wouldn't rewatch it, but I really did like it. I thought it was beautiful.
But maybe like high A tier, like just behind K-pop.
I would
Demon
say
Hunter?
behind. I would actually say above K-pop, but
I
that's
would
I
say
would
above
agree.
K-pop.
I would put it above K-pop Demon Hunters, because though I do love K-pop Demon Hunters, The Long Walk like moved me in a way I haven't had a movie move me in a while.
That's what I heard. Is it is a very impactful movie. Frankenstein. I haven't seen this one. I've been meaning to.
I would say
I would say B. It was good, but I have absolutely no reason to watch it again.
I agree. B tier.
yeah, I would say B or very low A. From a costuming standpoint, it was like truly like jaw dropping what she was able to do. That beetle dress that Mia Goth wears, and the Frankenstein's monsters. The way that she created a very human looking man, but with all the furs and stuff like that. I was really blown away by the costume design. And so I would say that really encapsulated me, but it wasn't like a rewatch for me.
Yeah.
It was
The sets were amazing. I loved the dialogue, like the way they had the characters speak. The costumes were great. But plot wise, like it was good, but it wasn't something that, I'm gonna like need to rewatch this. But it was a very beautiful and cool looking movie with some great dialogue.
So maybe mid B tier then?
Yeah, mid B tier.
Okay.
I'm more likely to rewatch this than I am to rewatch Mission Impossible. So I'd put it above Mission Impossible.
Above Wicked.
Above Wicked even? Okay.
Yeah.
Moving on to the next one though. Avatar Fire and Ash.
Didn't watch.
At most I can make it a C tier. At most.
Yeah. I also have not seen this one. Nate, are you the only one who's seen it?
Yes, I guess. Okay. First off, James Cameron. Why does it have to be in 3D? If I want to see it in IMAX, why am I required to see it in 3D? Every time I tilted my head, all of a sudden the visuals got all messed up. So that wasn't great. Some of the graphics looked a little video gamey. There was some really cool shots, beautiful moments and everything, but why is the plot almost identical to the previous movies? Again, it's the same plot. Just kill some people. I'm just saying, stop having like
I
the
also
Colonel
think
and
it's
Jake
fun, but I
fight
can't
each other.
handle the Colonel. I can't handle him. He's just impossible for me to take seriously. When he came back in the second one, I was like, oh, groan. And then he lived. And then Nate told me that he's back in this third one. I'm like, I can't.
And he lives again.
I stopped watching after Way of Water.
Yeah. So once again, it was good. And this time, instead of having Jake learn the ways of a new Na'vi tribe, the Colonel finds some Na'vi that are willing to turn against the Na'vi to get guns, and he learns the ways of their tribe. And then him and Jake once again have a 1v1 at the end of the movie. And Jake lets him live for some reason again. And then also, remember, we're going to have a climactic battle over some sort of spiritual site, artifact thingy, individual, whatever. There's a spiritual thing going on. Humans are going to crash it. Large ship, support ships, just like the previous two movies. Na'vi come out on their mounts, big fight, things blow up. Na'vi win in the end, 1v1 fight. Just kill the Colonel or something. Have Jake die, something. Because in the middle of the movie, Jake gets captured by the humans, and they just don't execute him immediately. They put him in a giant glass box for everyone to look at.
So then do you think this is D tier?
It's probably D.
Like, I don't want to spoil the whole movie. That's why I cut you off there. I want to make
I know
the whole plot.
Yeah, the plot's the same as the previous two movies, in my opinion, pretty much.
Yeah.
But
maybe
I don't know, like
low C tier or
either low C tier, like put it at the top of D tier. Like I don't like visually. Once again, still a visually stunning movie, but I just feel like it didn't do enough to justify its existence in comparison to the other Avatar movies. It just felt like more of the same.
Great. All right, Freakier Friday. I think only Lexi and I saw this one. Lexi, what are your thoughts to start?
It was a nostalgia remake with Netflix scripts that they keep doing. And I thought that the end credit scene where they showed the behind the scenes that the cast was doing was more fun than the movie. The
agree.
the end credit was like it was fun music and it was them all hanging out together and it felt like old rom-com movies, these old 2000s Disney Channel movies. It felt like that and it was really fun. And the movie itself was fun and it was fun and colorful, but it was cheesy. But it was still fun. It just, it didn't blow me away.
Nothing
Okay.
special. Just kind of.
I loved the original, but
Yeah.
So what do you
So
think?
what do
C
we-
tier?
see, yeah.
Yeah, I would agree.
G tier it is.
Did anyone else see Ballerina?
I have not seen it.
Yeah, Lexi and I did. Did anyone else?
I saw it.
I liked it. I thought it was
I
good.
thought it was fun.
Really like
I really enjoyed it actually, a lot more than I thought I would. I really loved how she handled every situation. She was taking him out, and she comes across John Wick and things happen. I liked it.
The grenade only fight scene was pretty crazy.
Yeah, which is just, yeah. I
Uh,
would say B.
yeah, I agree. B. I think that's where a lot of the John Wick movies kind of lie for me. Amazing action, okay plot, but like the action is just some of the best out there with
Mhm.
some pretty compelling characters. Running Man. I didn't see this one.
I loved this one, but I really love action movies and like stunt movies and things like that. I thought this one was really fun. I thought the twist at the end was really well executed and also another one that actually like lined up all its things and then finished it and wrapped up all its little plot things. So I really appreciated the end and it was just a really fun action movie. And I'm sorry, what is his name? The actor.
Glenn Powell.
Thank you, Glenn Powell. I really liked his performance in this one. I thought he was a really
Yeah.
good choice.
I don't really like Glenn Powell. He's always just kind of been the hot guy you hire, I guess. But in this, he does great. He was fun, I mean, it's not like A or S. Maybe it's A to you, but to me, it was a fun adventure. I really didn't have any qualms with it.
I would put it low A.
Low A. Sounds good.
Okay. Now, we all saw Fantastic Four, right?
Yes,
Mhm.
Fantastic
Yeah.
Four First Steps. Which, if we're judging it as a standalone, which is how we judged Thunderbolts, I think is an S tier. In the context of the MCU, it's like a C, I think.
And we can't judge
What?
it as a standalone because it literally, the whole marketing point of this one was that it was going to somehow lead us into Doomsday. And it did not do that at all.
I think
Yeah,
even as
it
a
has a little
standalone, I
end
wouldn't
credit
make it an
Doom.
S tier.
But they made the mistake, I think, of hiring Robert Downey Jr., meaning they can't get him for any of these end credit scenes, and so they can't get him for Fantastic Four. I mean, Doom is Reed Richards' biggest hater, and you don't see him once. He exists as you see the Latvia stuff. But he doesn't exist in the movie, and it is just shocking that they went that way to me, that they're setting up Doomsday and they don't show him once in Fantastic Four, the biggest villain of Fantastic Four. And for Thanos, I mean, they were setting that guy up for 10 years in like over multiple different end credits. I don't know. He is in the end
Yeah.
credits, but he's not like,
They don't really show anything that
Yeah.
seems, if you're not in like someone who knows about the comic books and like how powerful Reed Richards and Sue Storm's children are, it makes no sense why Doom's just creeping over a baby at the end.
Right.
Well, I thought it would like lead them into why they were coming to Earth in the Thunderbolts end credit scene. And it somehow wrapped up that they won and so they didn't need to do that. And I was like, so how are we getting the plot of them leading into that?
Rye isn't big on comic books, so he didn't know who Franklin Richards was, and I had to explain that Franklin Richards actually revived Sue Storm. So, like, if you aren't someone who knows the Fantastic Four, it doesn't make a lot of sense, some of the things that they do. So yeah, I think we all agree that it could have
But
been
if it-
better. But
If it was a standalone, it was great. I thought the characters were fun, the production was good.
I like the aesthetics, like the retro
The
future
60s
aesthetic.
ish, yeah.
loved the aesthetics. I liked a lot of the characters. I liked the direction they went with the characters. Reed was great. He was like this kind of depressed, smart guy. The Sue was awesome. I loved the kill this guy who's trying to take away your son or your nephew to Human Torch. You know, she's so good there. Human Torch and Thing were lacking though. Human Torch, they talk about, ooh, he's a ladies man, but we never actually see that. It's just like they expect you to know. And then Thing, it feels like there's at least a half hour of movie cut out for the Thing. Because he never has anything that happens with the lady that he's interested in. So
That's very fair with the Thing. I will argue they do a really good job of showing Johnny as a ladies' man because he literally reverse engineers a language for someone that he has only seen like once in his life. To me, that is the biggest like flex.
That's more of a crush,
I'm
though.
into you.
That's more of like a that's like polite ladies' man. A ladies' man is usually like more of a player, and he didn't.
Yeah, but
he's more of a usually like a womanizer almost.
Yes,
They
exactly.
made him a little
Yeah.
more
That's
polite.
fair.
Not that I really want womanizer, but
Yeah,
like,
I'm glad that they made that change to his character.
Yeah.
I do think it would have been. I like how they made him seem more intelligent. Like, you know, he did reverse engineer a language and like figure out how to speak it. I do wish we'd had more of the Thing. It did feel like most of the focus was on Reed Richards and Sue Storm, which makes sense. You know, it's a family movie and they're the ones having a kid, and a lot of the drama around the plot is with them having a child and Galactus wanting it and everything. So, yeah, but I don't know. I'd give it like a B tier. I felt like it was.
He is fair.
It could have been more.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Fantastic Four, First Steps, B tier. We're all in agreement. Moving on then to one that I don't like, Captain America: Brave New World.
C.
I think this is a C. I really, really wanted to like this one. I really like Sam Wilson. He's my favorite Captain America. And they just didn't do it very well.
Well, it's because it was a Hulk sequel.
Yeah.
What were you going to say, Chad?
Yeah, that was my argument. It was a sequel that was meant not for him. They had a villain, the green brain guy. He was the villain and a character in the 2007 or 8 Incredible Hulk movie, which is a different actor, and like I know it's part of the MCU technically, but like I was like, "Oh, that's such an odd choice."
I had never seen the original Hulk, and so after seeing this Captain America one, we had to go home and watch it so that I understood what the heck they were even talking about, like why the lore, why the Colonel coming back in.
We also had Red Hulk, which is another Hulk villain. Like, this was a sequel to a movie from almost 20 years ago that people didn't have a very popular reception, to the point where they basically wrote it out of the MCU. That just randomly made it the main point of this Captain America sequel. This should have been about Sam reestablishing the new Avengers that are the rivals of the Thunderbolts.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Yes, I agree. And I mean, absolutely no disrespect to Harrison Ford. I love him. He should not have been cast as President Ross, the Red Hulk. He's too old. There was one scene where he was shirtless, and I physically flinched because of how frail and like decrepit he looked, which is what happens to anyone who's 80 years old. But I just didn't feel like he was this brooding war general who's on the verge of turning into the Hulk. He just looked like a really old man.
Well, the weird thing is there'd been someone who'd been playing Ross in the whole of the MCU that was in Captain America Civil War, Captain America Winter Soldier, and other movies that he played a role in, that they just didn't. I don't know why they didn't recast him, or why they recasted him or didn't.
It's because they wanted Harrison Ford's name on the poster.
Yes, but I thought the other guy was perfect as Ross.
Same, he was doing a great job. But I think we're all in agreement. C tier, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Companion. This is one that I haven't seen. Who did see this one?
I did.
We did. You saw it, Nate?
Yeah, I saw it. Me and Michaela watched it like sometime in November, I think.
I really liked it. It's kind of on the same level as like Hard Eyes for me, where it's got a fun horror story with a little bit mix of a love story in it. And then same as Drop, where it's got a good female revenge and a lot about like being trapped in a patriarchal world where being a female like traps you in things. And I thought that it had great commentary on that, and it was really gory and fun.
It almost felt comedic to me in a way. Like it was
supposed to be
horror.
Yeah.
Like I went in thinking it would be more of like a horror movie, and then I came out like this is more like a thriller comedy, and I thought it did it really well. I thought the
Yeah.
characters were compelling. I felt the villain just like they did a great job portraying them as the loser they are, which I thought was awesome.
He was such a good loser. Yeah.
Oh yeah, no, I just thought they did a fantastic job of that. And I think Eric mentioned it was what's the name of the actor?
Jack Quaid.
Yeah,
All I know him
great
from
job.
is The Boys. So
Yeah,
He was good in that other one too, the Novocaine.
oh,
yeah.
Oh, we forgot to add that to the list.
Oh.
Was that this year?
Was
I
it?
thought that was 2024.
I think it was 24.
Novocaine was good too. I actually like that one.
Yeah, I like Jack Quaid.
So where do we put Companion? I feel like I'd put it A.
I would put it A. I thought it was a really well-rounded horror.
Like maybe lower A. You said it was kind of similar to Hard Eyes.
Yeah, that's fine where it is for me.
Yeah,
Okay.
where it is good.
Yeah.
Awesome. Naked Gun. I know that Chad and Lexi have seen this one. I haven't seen it.
I haven't either.
I love Mel Brooks. I love his humor. I love Airplane. I love these kind of movies, and I thought
don't
it
think
was
this one's
really
Mel Brooks.
Is it not?
No,
oh, well,
this is Liam.
don't put that in the video.
No, but it is that genre of humor.
Yes. I love that kind of humor.
Liam Neeson was the main.
Mel
actor in
Brooks
this
is
one,
Mel
like you
Brooks is
said.
a director.
Well, yes, Mel Brooks is the director.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I thought it was great. I loved that behind the scene Liam Neeson and Pamela Anderson fell in love. I think that's pretty cute. And it just took me by surprise, and it was really funny. I was laughing the whole time. I haven't laughed that hard in a movie in a long time.
I loved the old Airplane, and I love the old Naked Gun. I think I heard people will get mad that it was Liam Neeson. He's the perfect actor to play it because the original Naked Gun also wasn't the actor wasn't a
Comedy
comedic
actor.
guy, and so that was why he was perfect. Because I saw an interview where Liam was like, I don't know how to do. I think it was Liam. Like, I don't know how to do comedy, and they're like, oh, well, you're not the comedy guy. You play your role straight and be like the straight man, and then everything else is comedic around you, and that's exactly what it is. I was laughing nearly every 30 seconds to a minute in this movie. There are some very
And like hard
absurd-
out loud laughing.
Yeah.
It was really funny.
Yes,
Is this one?
some very absurd things that happen in it.
Is this another S tier or?
No, but A, maybe
Low A, yeah.
low A.
And then there's
Superman, I think-
Superman.
Can go on S.
If we didn't put Superman in S tier, I was gonna riot because this was my favorite movie of
Look,
2025.
It's S for
We all
Superman.
rewatched.
Yes.
So after we saw this movie, a couple months later, Lexi and I were going for a walk. We were walking our dog, and I was like, the only vibe for a movie I want right now is what Superman gave me. And I couldn't really think of any other movie that had that same just hope and love and kindness vibe. And
Yeah.
it was all I wanted. So I think we had to go home and watch it again. So
Yeah. The closest movie I can think of is The Iron Giant, but even then, it isn't nearly the same.
So I went with my younger brother to go see this, and growing up, we watched all the Justice League Unlimited, Superman the animated series, Batman the animated series. We watched that whole DC animated universe together. And when I dropped him off at home, went home, and by the time I got home, he'd sent me a meme he'd made. Do you remember in Ratatouille when the food critic takes a bite of the food and it transports him back home?
yeah.
Like when he was a little kid and his mom made the recipe for him. It was just that for him and me. Like seeing this movie. Like he just put the Superman movie, the critic's eyes opening wide, and then the Justice League animated show, like when you were a kid. Like that was my experience. I just feel like I was a little kid again watching a Saturday morning cartoon, feeling nothing
I
but
love
joy
that.
and optimism for the future. And that's what
I grew up
Superman's meant
watching-
for me.
Yeah, I grew up watching Justice League too, so it felt like that too. Just so hope. I think hope is a really good word. There's not a lot of movies that give me hope, and that one did.
Yeah.
I was balling in the theater. It was a
Mhm.
fantastic movie. If you haven't
Really
seen
good.
it, please watch it. It's genuinely, in my opinion,
Oh,
the
we're
best.
gonna get a lot of comments about the Snyder fans and stuff, and I understand. It's a different total direction. We understand your opinion and we get it. We just really love this direction as well.
I don't get your opinion.
No,
Chad understands you. Fight me. It's way better than Man of Steel. I'll fight you on that.
Man of Steel was a fun movie with some great action scenes, but it didn't capture the true spirit of Superman, in my opinion.
Mhm.
And this movie did.
especially in our political day and age, it was really nice to see an
Yeah.
immigrant Superman who believed everyone was the same.
An
Deserved-
immigrant Superman who was
Good treatment.
just anti-war. That was the only real political stance that he had. The entire movie was just being anti-war, and that's not a political stance. If you think it is, I have choice words for you.
Like I like the thing is like Superman. He has two mottos throughout his comic book run, which is truth, justice, and the American way. And the other was truth, justice, and like a better tomorrow. And what's more American than an immigrant growing up in Kansas, being raised on a farm, going and helping others because he just wants to be a good person and wants other people to be good people. Like, I don't get what, if you have a problem with that, like, you're un-American in my opinion.
Yeah.
Amen.
I think we've said all the praise that we can for Superman. So moving on to Wake Up Dead Man. In my opinion, this is another S tier. I'm willing to hear you guys out if you think it isn't.
I never saw it.
Okay.
I love mysteries. Great. I love mysteries, but Chad doesn't, so I haven't seen this one yet. But I'm sure I would love it.
It is a wonderful story. My Letterboxd review of it was that this movie did more for my relationship with God than 20 Years of Religion did, which I do believe. It is a very emotional movie. It's a very wonderful movie about the difference between religion and faith. And as someone who grew up in a very religious environment, it hit me in all the right spots. I understand if it's not your cup of tea, but for me, it was wonderful, wonderful movie to close out the year.
Huh. Love it.
Add
it. Make sure I watch it.
All I've heard is good things about it, so I feel like I have to watch it now. Like, everyone I know who's seen it loved it.
Same.
It is the best Knives Out movie in my opinion. But since no one can fight me on that, it's going in S tier.
All right.
Moving on to Megan 2.0.
I'm not.
I would say like high. I would say high C.
I see.
Because when we finished watching it, it was like that's fun, but the plot was not as good as the first one.
But higher than like weapons and stuff.
Higher than weapons.
No. That was a question.
Oh.
I don't think it was that good. It was just, they were trying to go for Terminator 2 because it is no longer a horror movie. It is no longer a scary movie. She is now a good guy and she is helping them. It's the kind of plot. It's Terminator 2 and it was fun. I didn't dislike it, to be honest. When I walked out, I wasn't just like, that was terrible. But it was also like, if you sit and think about it for a while, I was just kind of like, oh, what was that?
The first one was so campy and fun that it took me by surprise. I didn't think I'd like it, and then I did. And so this one was just kind of like, meh. You know, it wasn't good or bad. I just kind of watched it.
It was kind of a movie that felt like it was made more so just out of obligation to make a sequel rather than actually having a story to tell.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, middle of C tier it is then. Moving on to Good Fortune. I may be the only one who has seen this.
I really wanted to, but haven't seen it.
Okay.
Well, since you're the only one who's seen it, what do you rank it?
I don't want to put it in S tier after just putting Wake Up Dead Man in S tier. But
you're too nice.
It is. I think A tier, like maybe middle to bottom of A tier, because it is a wonderful movie. I had a great time watching it. It's a very silly, campy movie, but me and Rai saw it in theaters, and we were just laughing the entire time. It's a great movie. I'm not usually a Seth Rogen fan, but he was really doing it for me in this movie, as was.
I am a Seth Rogen fan, so I think I would like it. I think he's really funny in a lot of his movies.
Yeah. All of the cast was great, but it was the first movie that I'd seen Seth Rogen, and then I was like, oh, he's actually funny. So I'm gonna say bottom of A tier. That's not bottom of A tier. There we go. If you haven't seen it, I recommend it. Okay. Five Nights at Freddy's 2.
D.
You said D?
It's just gonna be so controversial because the Five Nights at Freddy's fans are built different. But
well, that's why I would put it in D, because this movie was made for the fans and not for literally anybody else who knows next to nothing and loved the first one because it was like introduced me to the lore, but didn't know anything else. And so then this movie just made no sense. And I literally the whole time I was confused and I was waiting for the light bulb moment. I was like, surely this is all gonna make sense, and then it just truly never did.
Well, and that's why you got to go watch the.
There weren't even any scares. Like nothing really happens that's scary. A lot of the stuff doesn't really make sense. The ending is so unsatisfying because they're getting surrounded by all the bad guys, and then all of a sudden they just get Deus Ex Machina saved, and it's just like, oh, and it's over. And it was just like, oh, okay, I don't know.
So D tier.
Yeah, probably.
I would
I
say
haven't
D.
seen it, but
I
that
just
feels really intense.
okay, so maybe C, maybe low C.
Bottom
Like
of
I don't
C.
regret watching it, but it just wasn't good.
There was a lot that could be improved upon.
Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe you got to
I
go
think the
watch some of
puppets
those
look cool.
MatPat videos now, because apparently it's like 20 million videos on the lore of Five Nights at Freddy's.
Yeah, I gotta dive in.
All right. Moving on to our
Final
last
one.
movie.
S.
Sinners. I agree. Sinners has to be S tier. In my opinion, it's the only movie of 2025 that could beat Superman for best movie. And in fact, I actually think it might. Have we all seen Sinners?
Yeah.
Yes. Sinners, I think, was a beautiful depiction of vampires, beautiful music, and like character, like relationships and stuff that I thought was really fun and moving.
So refreshing. It was a really refreshing plot and acting, and
Yeah.
really,
I really loved it. I went in not knowing much about it. I knew vampires, I think, but that was it. And the vampires don't really show up until like halfway through the movie, and it was so well done. Because I love that kind of stuff where you really get to know these characters. And the beautification of the culture of all cultures, was so well done. I liked it. I thought it was really good.
That one scene where they have like the music playing and then like they go outside and have like the montage of all the other genres of music
all the
and
different black
costumes and stuff.
culture. And, yeah.
Was
Feel the ancestors and stuff like that. It's just
it was so
Yeah.
beautiful.
I can't think of anything that they could do that would make it better. The way that all of the characters were personified, all of the actors and actresses did a great job depicting their characters. Costume design itself was also amazing.
The ending credit was amazing. It like brought it all together.
Yeah. Also, I just got to give props to Michael B. Jordan for playing twins, being a single person through that whole film. Like the movie magic of that alone is amazing.
I also went in not knowing a lot, and so for the first like 30 minutes, I was like, I had no idea that Michael B. Jordan had a twin. Like how did they? That's crazy that that there's just two of them. But no, it's just the same guy. So
My only
great
complaint would be that I need subtitles.
That's
Their
fair.
accents were really thick at the beginning, and I have ADHD, which makes me have hard sensory processes, and so I missed maybe a good 40% of the dialogue at the beginning. So I'd love to rewatch it with subtitles, so I'd get some of that.
Also, I just gotta love the fact that the vampires, though they were the villains, I kind of loved them. Like I liked them.
They
Dude,
were
it
very
didn't seem so bad to be a vampire. They were all answering and
charismatic.
It's like Pluribus.
After doing some last minute shuffles, our final standings for 2025 tier list, according to us, our opinion,
which are the
S
right
tier,
opinions.
the only correct ones. In S tier, we have Superman, Sinners, Thunderbolts, and Wake Up Dead Man. In A tier, we have The Long Walk, K-Pop Demon Hunters, Zootopia 2, 28 Years Later, Mickey 17, The Running Man, Companion, The Naked Gun, and Good Fortune. In B tier, we have Drop, Hard Eyes, Frankenstein, Wicked for Good, Mission Impossible: The Final Reckoning, the live-action remake of How to Train Your Dragon, Ballerina, Fantastic Four: First Steps, Bugonia, a Minecraft movie, and Jurassic World: Rebirth. In C tier, we have Weapons, Good Boy, Freakier Friday, Captain America: Brave New World, Five Nights at Freddy's 2. And then finally, in D tier, we have Megan 2.0, Avatar: Fire and Ash, Wolfman, the live-action remake of Snow White, and Until Dawn. Again, these are just our opinions. If you disagree, tell us why in the comments, please.
I know
We'd
a
love
lot of
to
these
hear it.
ones people are going to disagree with. I know people will probably disagree with like Weapons. They'll disagree with quite
I
a
think
few
people
of
disagree
these.
with.
But that's
I think
totally
people
okay.
are
They disagree with Avatar.
It's very okay.
Yeah, they disagree with Avatar. They'll probably disagree with Running Man too, I think.
Yeah, I did see a lot of people didn't like it, but it was fun. Why would we watch it? It was a fun little adventure.
Why did
I
you like it?
would love to hear why you disagree, though, because, with movies, a lot of the times the stories that we like are the stories that we can associate with the characters that we either find similarities with or maybe see our own insecurities in. So I'd love to see why you find these movies to be better than we think they are or worse than we think they are. Tell us why we're wrong.
Yeah, and sometimes you just got to watch a movie at the right time. And if you don't, it just doesn't hit the same.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
So true.
All right.
Well, thank you so much for joining.
Check out
Thanks
our
for having
other
me.
videos. Oh, yes. Thank you for joining us, Lexi. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thanks for having me. That was really fun.
It was very insightful to get some insight about the costumes, like especially what you said with Snow White, with all the fabrics being flat. That's something that I never look at in movies, so it was nice to hear someone else's point of view for that.
Yeah.
I'll talk about clothes forever. You just let me on.
Maybe we should do that at some point.
Yeah.
You can walk us through the basics of costume design.
It'll be fun.
Show us some of your favorites and some of your least favorite costumes. That could be kind of interesting.
Yeah, that would be fun.
Thank all of you for watching. Please check out our other videos, our most recent video talking about Nolan's Odyssey. Again, if you're looking to have some polite disagreement, check out that video.
Thank you so much. See you next time.
Yeah. See you next time. Thanks so much for watching.